Hello YouTube, Dave here again. Welcome back to another installment of Eternal Darkness Sanity's Requiem. So last episode we completed chapter 3 and we got our second floor key fixed. So let's unlock the door to the second floor and see what we got here. Now it's just, it's been a few days since the last time I recorded, so Alex's sanity has dropped some from reading the Tome of Eternal Darkness. So let's just have a look around. See what we got here. Oh, that was weird. So if we examine the wallpaper in this section of the hallway is oddly marred, as though the wall it sits on is not even with the rest of the room, so that's probably something important for later. Yeah, don't want to be there yet. Away from that. Alright, so let's examine something behind the painting there. So the chapter page has been hastily stashed behind the frame of the painting. Should Alex retrieve the chapter page? Yes. Yes, she should. Alex has found the chapter page titled The Gift of Forever. Oh, okay. Some of the times when you find a chapter of the book, it triggers a cutscene. I think we had that happen last time. I was kind of expecting that to happen here, but alright, let's just go right ahead and give this a read.
Dreams. Modern psychology offers only unproven theories. Some see them as the meaningless tossing and turning of a brain settling into a restful sleep. Others see them as laden with symbols of our unconscious desires. To still others, dreams represent the upwelling of the archetypes, normally hidden deep within the recesses of the human collective unconscious. Of one thing I am certain. After a brush with the ancients, our dreams metamorphosize into nightmares. I have implored you for years. You ignore all my advances. You dominate my dreams. I can think of nothing else. I feel I desire you many 100 times more than you love me.
My life has become a waking dream, Karim. For weeks, I have dreamed of an ancient treasure so precious that it changes all life around it. It must be mine, Karim. If you truly desire me, as you say, then you will find this for me. Bring this treasure to me, and I will be yours. Both of our dreams will come true.
I need nothing more from you. You have enthralled me to the point that I can think of nothing else. Promise, if I leave, you will not forget about me.
You need not worry. I desire nothing more than the treasure that you seek. Leave me, Karim, and I shall wait you.
Alright, so this is, if anybody watched the first episode, you'll probably recognize the fact that the pillars were the ones that Pius Augustus went into. So this is the first of the revisits. So several different locations you come back to time and time again, and this is one of those places. So As you can see, there's lots of dead zombies on the ground. Whoops. And we have a man's corpse lies fallen. Wounds cover the exposed flesh of his body where his armor has failed. Alright, let's just head down this ladder. And we are back in the walkway of screaming faces. This time we have poor Anthony added to our selection of statues. Alright, let's claim the Tome of Eternal Darkness. Alright, so all these things animate. I'm just going to head down the ladder because you never have to come back to that starting room. So just ignore them. I didn't lose any sanity because they didn't get a chance to see me. And it's all good. However, these ones... Oh, right, that's actually one thing I should mention about the Xelatoth zombies is even if you cut their heads off before they see you, you still lose sanity, so there's just really no escaping it. Alright, so we're going to have to finish this guy off just to get this magical rune. And I don't think I can go anywhere else, so up the ladder we go. I have tried to play this a little bit with a different save file to sort of re-familiarize myself with some of these locations, just because some of them are a little more, you have to backtrack or try to find your way around, so I also have the feature unlocked where I can just go ahead and jump into any specific chapter, which is really cool. And with that you can also unlock the Eternal mode once you defeat the game with all 3 possible choices of Ancients. There we go. And so when you do that, you're basically invincible. You don't lose sanity. You just basically get to play through level. If you have weapons with ammunition, then they have unlimited ammo. So now I'm not going to be doing that for the game, obviously, but just to reacquaint myself with some of the other chapters. Because I don't really want to be stumbling around for, 45 minutes trying to find my way to get to a particular thing. So we got some trappers here. So I've got my ranged weapon ready. Now, sanity should be alright, so it's probably wrong move. I probably should have gone into the trapper dimension to get some of it back. So this shrine has risen from the floor, exposing what appears to be a lifting mechanism. So let's use the elevator to descend. Alright, so I don't want to completely get my sanity so low that I start losing health. So I may have to start finishing off a few guys. I mean, I want to experience as many insanity effects as I can during this playthrough, although it does kind of ruin it too, so maybe I should try to limit what I do there. But we have here, a man lies dead, anointed in blood from the ravages of the Tulwar sword. The wounds, deep and numerous, seep fresh blood, precise yet powerful, the result of a man's action, not a monster's. Should I retrieve the Tulwar? Yes, I should. So now I can dual wield. And I'm sure absolutely nothing... Oh, actually, hold on now. Do I have... No, I don't think I have it yet. Can I learn it? I guess it doesn't matter. I don't have the right one anyway. There's a spell that lets you recover. I was going to use that to recover a little bit of sanity. But what do you think is going to happen now that I got this sword? Look, he gets right back up. Alright, now I can just leave and not fight this guy because I never come back here, but I thought it would be interesting to kind of show what happens. So this goes back, there we go. So if you remember back at the end of the last chapter, Anthony, you know, at the very end of the cinematic had something bursting out. So they're called bone thieves. And when they explode out of somebody, you lose a ton of sanity. Oh, and here we just have the recover spell, which I mentioned a few seconds ago. So this is starting to get a little sketchy. So, whoop. Oh, of course. I actually, even though I've recently played this again to try to familiarize myself with it. Oh, this is a bad combination of things. Okay. I actually forgot that... No, I don't want to check him. I actually forgot that one of these was a bone thief. So let's hope this one isn't. Okay. And I'm going to finish him off just to get a little bit more sanity back. And I want to say that these are all going to be fine. I really should have gone back into that trapper dimension and refilled some of my sanity, but didn't happen. Now this barrier here, we've seen a couple of these before, but I don't actually have the rune that is required. So, oh, and just a little bit of blood running down from the walls, nothing big. Let's just save it again, just to be on the safe side. One thing I learned is to do this frequently, because it's super easy to die, especially when you fight one of these things. So this is one of the horrors. This is the Ulioth horror, so he, and you're gonna take a lot of damage when you fight one of these. Unless you have ranged weapons. I mean, I have the chakrams, the ranged weapons, but I also have a healing item, so I may as well just kind of get into melee. And I realized, I'm going to finish him off for sure, I realized that I screwed up completely when I first started this playthrough. I really wanted to find, I wanted to play the scenario or choose the ancient at the beginning that gives me Chaturga relatively quickly, which is the red colored artifact that I could have chosen with Augustus. Oh, okay, that's good. I actually wanted that. But as it turns out, so the first rune that you get in the game is the neutral one. I want to go to the green one anyway. If I can get it to actually turn green, that'd be great. There it is. Okay. So there's three different ancients, and one is weak to one of the others, and the third one would be neutral. I probably shouldn't have gone that far up, but anyway. So the first magical source that you can get, so if I go into my spells here, I have Ulioth. Now I chose Zelatoth as my ancient. Ulioth is the neutral one, so the first ancient you get to use magic from is the neutral party. And the second one you get is the ancient that you chose, and the last one that you get is the one that is the one that the ancient that you chose is vulnerable against. So I essentially chose, let's get the torch out. I essentially ended up choosing instead of choosing the one that gives me, Chaturga second. I didn't really want to get him first, but the one that could have gotten me him second, I didn't end up choosing. So what happens here is that the reason I want Chaturga is because with the recover spell, you can recover health or sanity. There's no point doing it for magic, because it's just a wash, right? You regain as much as you lose to cast a spell. But having the ability to regain health, I thought would be better than regaining sanity. And I made the complete wrong choice. So the health Chaturga is going to be the last ancient that I get, which kind of sucks. Now, here we have a Dao Broadsword protrudes from a stone or solid pedestal made of stone. It awaits its next owner. Should I try to pull it out? Sure. Now, if my Arthurian lore is correct, that should make me king. Alright, so this sword is pretty awesome. So just to look here, whoop. Of course, it only is awesome if I hit with it. But as you can see, one hit KO these things, it just cuts them right in half. If you aim for their head, it cuts their head off, and like just everything goes flying. It's pretty sweet. I'm not going to finish too many of these off, but there are, I think, about 3 or 4 of these waves. And the wave doesn't trigger until all of these bodies kind of disappear. There we go. And it'll take a few seconds afterwards. Alright. So that one's sort of a freebie if I wanted to regain the maximum amount of sanity. You can sometimes attack them before they get a chance to look at you, and when you do that, you don't lose sanity, but you can regain sanity by killing them, which is kind of neat. The reason I'm regaining some here is there are going to be more bone thieves later on once the Zelatoth zombies start appearing. It should be this wave, I believe. Yeah. I don't think any are in the first wave, but I think the second wave is going to have one, at least one. Alright, so yeah, let's finish these guys off because they will actually get up. That's the other gimmick of the Zelatoth zombies, is that they will fake you out. So you think you've got them defeated, and they will get back up. The Chaturga ones will too, but they regenerate, so it kind of... Actually, no, once they go down, I think they're down. That's it. Alright, so here we have the Zelatoth rune. So I can start using that now. So these two, I think both of these are going to have bone thieves in them. Yeah. And I missed. That's not good. I also shouldn't get too far away from that. I'm just going to swing. There we go. Now, I am losing health. So I'm really hoping that this isn't... and it is. Oh, that hurts so much. But it's dead. And that one's dead, so I have the magical rune. And now I'm okay. As far as sanity goes, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Just finish that off to speed things up a bit. Because with the recover spell, I can now recover sanity. I can also enchant now. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I kind of didn't really point it out in a previous room, but I need the Ramdao and the enchant spell in order to get to where I need to go. So, actually, crap. Can I? I don't think I can go this way. I just want to. Yeah. All right. One more save. Alright, now Kareem has this amulet that's like the one that the dancing girl had. I'm going to use this at least a couple times, because... Oh! Well, that's not healing. Alright, so that was obviously a sanity effect, but I'm going to use this to heal up. And I'm probably going to use that one more time. So I've got 3 more uses. And I'm going to be honest, I probably should recover just a little bit more sanity. So yeah, kind of thinking about it just as I was talking. So here's the thing. So there's a lock, colored sigil engraved, and I need the sword. So I just go to my equipment and use the sword. Alright. So, right, so let's go up this ladder. Some more of these trappers. So let's go ahead and get rid of them. Oh, there we go. Alright, so here we have a ruby effigy. It stands on a pedestal. So where you do come back to certain sections of the game, most levels are repeated a couple of different times, but with different characters. What's really cool about this level in particular, and the times that you revisit, are these effigies. There's 3 in total that are found throughout 3 different playthroughs of this particular area. And basically, while I'm explaining this, I'm just going to recover a bit more sanity. So there's 3 of them. And if you collect all 3, you don't have to. All 3 of them are considered optional, but if you collect all 3 throughout all 3 different times that you revisit this place, you can actually find an item that is super useful at the end of the game, but it's totally optional. You don't actually have to get it. And there's 2 different optional items in this game. I think I'm just going to go for it. Now with the so the other awesome thing about the Ramdao is that it kills a horror in one swing, which is just great. And we'll finish him off. So it's kind of cool that there are a couple of like these optional things. I think it's really awesome. And oops, just examine this. A blasphemous sculpture made from human skin and bone. A trestle of bones is cradled within this shrine, like a nightmarish bookstand beckoning to be used. Okay, well, let's place the Tome of Eternal Darkness on there. And you can take the book back. In fact, I think it makes you take it back, but anyway. We're just about finished this one. You just have a little bit of a gauntlet we have to go through now. Alright, sorry about that. Somebody decided to set their car alarm off. And it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm recording this. I have to do it at night. So, yeah, I'm sure that woke a lot of people up, which really sucks. But anyway, so basically what I have to do now is just kind of go through another gauntlet. Just wave the guys here. And we'll just use... Whoop! There we go. So the really cool thing, actually, about choosing Zelatoth as the Ancient is this gauntlet isn't actually that difficult because each of the creatures can be, with the exception of like the bigger things like, you know, some of the tougher things beyond the zombies, but all the zombies can basically be killed by, whoops, by a torch. And I think I'm going to actually assign the recover sanity to the left on the D-pad. Let's just cast one of those right now. Real quick like. So there are going to be a couple more, maybe not a couple, I think there's a Bone Thief that you fight. And I've never actually tried this before, the ones that are Bone Thieves. I wonder if they can actually be killed by the torch. So obviously, probably none of those were. I'd say it's likely going to be that one right there. Or yeah, okay. So oh boy. Oh boy. No, that's bad. That's bad. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that was close. Come on. Oops. Nope, 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 nope. Use. Use. Alright, there we go. Oh, crap. Crap, crap, no, no. Okay. Alright, so I just have to wait for this thing to make its way out. And I'm gonna get hit a couple of times, but there we go. Oh, that didn't kill it. Okay, that's bad. There we go. Alright, let's just finish him off, because that green barrier won't go away until I actually kill him. Or he disappears. Alright, so here we have the relic containing Ulyaoth. Or not containing, but linked to Ulyaoth. So this is the ancient that is neutral in this particular playthrough. So shaped like a delicate dome, a pale blue statuette floats gracefully above the pedestal. Should I claim the artifact? No. Alright. Actually, I guess I probably should.
We will be together forever.
What happened to you?
Things change, my dear Corinne. But even though my body is vanished, I am here.
Who did this to you?
You were gone so long. I gave myself to a woman with a jealous mistress. She had me dragged from my bed, and in cruel revenge cleansed with knives. As the last blades were drawn across my body, and my blood pooled upon the floor, she cursed that I would only breathe another death.
So much for thinking about it. But you never loved.
I have seen my father, and have already paid dearly. I see so much more now. In death, I know the true value of the artifact which I asked you to find. And it is not for us to possess. If we are to be together again, you must make a sacrifice. Only when that's complete will we be together.
Sacrifice? Why should I do anything for you? You lied to me. Betrayed me. You really don't look so good anymore.
You must forget the past. Despite who you are now, you will also become something more, just as I am. But the sacrifice must be made. We must remain here and guard the artifact. Dark things will come to claim it, and you must be strong to keep it from them. Without your sacrifice, the world will fall into eternal darkness.
The things I do for love.
Oh, right. So we are not doing so great. What is that? 0 for 4 so far. And oh, to be continued. The battle has been won, but the war against darkness is far from over. The war against darkness rages on, and Alright, so that just brought up like a teaser for a game called Eternal Darkness Sanity's Redemption. And the first time I actually played this game, that actually kind of got me for a second. So I actually genuinely thought that that was it. Like, I thought that was like, well, that's kind of a short game, or they're maybe planning on having a few other ones come out, because I knew you could play through it several times. So, but yeah, that actually got me the very first time. Now this game also came out like 15, 16 years ago, so I'm going to use that in my defense as well. Oh, phone's ringing.
Hello?
Remember me, Alex?
This isn't really happening.
Alright, so Alex is starting to lose her mind. But yeah, so anyway, that was this episode of Eternal Darkness. So we saw what fate awaited Kareem. I'm just going to ignore that. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and be sure to come back next time. See you then.